When we look at the polar regions, we tend to see them as static, flat wastelands, just endless, empty sheets of white stretching to the horizon. In 1958, a Soviet expedition set up heavy equipment on the Antarctic ice. They drilled down 600 meters, expecting to hit nothing but flat bedrock at the bottom. Polar ice functions as a massive physical barrier, shielding entire mountain ranges and geological systems from our view. But this environment is also brutally lethal. In 1845, the Franklin expedition sailed into the Arctic looking for a shortcut called the Northwest Passage. The winter ice quickly closed in, crushing their ships and killing all 129 men on board. A rescue ship, the HMS Investigator, was sent to find them and met the exact same fate, trapped in the ice and eventually sinking. Yet, when searchers located the Investigator 150 years later, the condition of the wreck was remarkable. Resting at the bottom of the sea, the ship was sitting perfectly upright. The frigid water and ice had shielded the wood and metal from typical decay, leaving the vessel beautifully intact. The Arctic freeze creates an environment of total preservation, using the same extreme conditions that killed the crew to keep their vessel perfectly intact. You might assume it takes thousands of years for this ice to bury something, but look at Greenland in 1942. A squadron of P-38 and B-17 military aircraft made an emergency crash landing right on the ice cap. This cross-section shows exactly how fast the environment moves. The crews were rescued 9 days later, leaving the planes behind. Over the next 50 years, the ice built up 90 meters of solid strata, entombing the planes. Getting them out took 11 years, $3 million, and heating plates to carve a vertical shaft to extract Glacier Girl. If ice can swallow, crush, and entomb military steel in a matter of decades, its ability to hold on to fragile biological history is even stronger. So what does this vice-like deep freeze actually do to human flesh and tissue over thousands of years? In 1991, hikers in the European Alps found the remains of Ötzi, a prehistoric traveler who had frozen to death roughly 5,000 years ago. The ice preserved him so immaculately that modern scientists were able to sequence his DNA. They proved he suffered from joint pain, lactose intolerance, and even carried the specific genes for male pattern baldness. We see the same immaculate preservation going back an extreme 39,000 years. In the freezing Siberian permafrost, hunters uncovered Yuka, a baby woolly mammoth. Her soft foot pads were still intact, and she still had shining golden hair attached to her skin. The biological data inside her was the real prize. Mammoths possessed a natural antifreeze chemical in their systems. Because of this, scientists were actually able to extract flowing, liquid red blood and later living cells from a carcass nearly 40,000 years old. Fossilization normally replaces organic matter with stone over millions of years. In the ice, the biological clock simply stops, leaving blood and soft tissue ready for analysis tens of thousands of years later. This vault holds Earth's deepest evolutionary records. Under the Antarctic ice, scientists found the bones of the Antarctopelta, a dinosaur preserved from 70 million years ago, back when the entire continent was a lush green jungle. It also acts as a geological vault. When glaciers formed during the last ice age, they ripped gold deposits from the Earth's crust, locking those heavy metals inside the ice for millennia. It even captures entire swarms of insects. In Montana's Grasshopper Glacier, millions of extinct Rocky Mountain locusts are perfectly suspended in the ice, caught in a massive storm centuries ago. The cryosphere, the frozen water part of the Earth system, is the largest, most diverse historical archives we have. It holds prehistorical biology, modern machinery, and raw mineral wealth. But the state of this vault is changing. As global temperatures rise, this barrier is beginning to rapidly fracture and open. As the glaciers melt, they unload thousands of years of trapped sediment and debris onto the surface, exposing artifacts that have been hidden since they were first entombed. For researchers, this thaw creates a fleeting opportunity. They have a narrow window to extract intact tissue and solve ancient mysteries before the evidence hits the open air and begins to decay. It has also sparked a literal gold rush to recover raw wealth previously locked in the ice. and a scientific race to sequence extinct DNA from freshly thawed remains. The retreat of ice is uncovering a vast archive of the past, one that only exists until the next heavy thaw washes the evidence away.